will be fine.
Yeah, it's
Not
like,
right
how is
now.
it gonna be okay? I don't know, but it will.
Look for the rainbow. It's okay. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall.
And I think it's better, it's easier said than done because it's like so many people were like always telling me, and I was telling so many people that I'm like, it's gonna be all right. And they're just like, how? Like, how? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have like the power to tell you how it's gonna be okay. I just know that like I got you, I'm here, and I'm pretty sure there's other people that got you, and you're gonna figure it out, you know?
What's good, y'all? Welcome back to a new season. We are fired up. We're excited. Before we get started on this amazing episode, let's introduce our individual to the side of us.
Hi everyone, I'm Amber Castellanos. I have a master's from CSUN. I am currently a youth leader in a school in Pasadena, and I'm working on getting my teaching credential to become an elementary school teacher.
Educators in the house, we love it. We're excited about it. With that being said,
as educators, we've been drastically affected by this ongoing pandemic, which seems to have yet to pause, you could say. So would you say this pandemic has affected you, Amber?
I think for me at first, like I was going a little like stir crazy being inside, like everyone figuring out what I was gonna do. And then I had moved back to my hometown. So it was kind of like I wanted to go out and explore and see what had changed and everything. And then I guess like I just was filled with like the nostalgia of being back. I wanted to like do things that I had done when I was a kid, and like that got me into wanting to be around kids, and suddenly it's like my whole career changed, and now like I want to go into education instead of like I still want to become a college professor, but that's kind of more on the back burner. It's like now it's like I want to be with kids, and like I want to be, they make me happy. Like I don't understand why kids wouldn't make someone happy. I mean, I get it, but like yeah, like it just like it's nice to have that right now.
People say that kids are just a little ray of sunshine. A little bit of sarcasm, probably not that much sarcasm. Depends on who you ask. It's true, especially nowadays when kids are just pure and innocent. They don't really know what's going on in this world, and you can't just help but smile at just how much childlike joy they have. It's interesting. I never knew that you actually switched majors from being like a professor to want to work with children. Yeah. So that's awesome.
Thank you.
So moving on to our first question. With this pandemic and the shortage of workers, I'm pretty sure where you're at, there's been a shortage of workers. Has there?
Yeah. So like we are constantly hiring. It's the Learns program for Pasadena USD. And like yeah, we are in desperate need of youth leaders. So if you like have any experience working with kids, please apply. Because like with the pandemic and everything, and people like nowadays, like I don't know, they just don't want to work with kids, and there's a shortage in teachers and stuff and everything. So yeah, there's definitely all these different factors.
Definitely. Would you say that you say that there's a lack of workers? Would you say part of it would be that a lot of them aren't qualified, or they don't have the qualifications?
I would say that a lot of people are more than qualified. Like me, like I I applied and I didn't have, I think, one of the criterias met, and they still accepted me because like they, of course you're working with kids, so they expect like all these different things. And a lot of people, like, you know, they were losing their jobs, they were getting sick, and they really were in desperate need for teachers. And they were like, if you want to teach, if you have any education, any experience, like please apply for like anything to work with kids, because like we are in desperate need of it. So it's not that people didn't have like the qualifications. I think it's that people didn't have the necessary experience and the requirements that they were asking for so long.
That's true. So it sounds like that when you get to a certain, especially schools, when you get to a certain point, you need workers. As long as you have certain requirements and you don't have any negative, what's the word? Anything wrong with the background check, you should be good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like it opened a lot of doors for I feel like people who wanted to teach and everything. So yeah.
It's definitely, as you mentioned, teachers are a high demand, and it's a calling too. It's not so much just a job. It's a life, you can say.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people right now who are in the education field, like they're really like evaluating, do I want to work with kids? And that's been like one of the factors of like, you want people in this field to really enjoy what they're doing. And like, of course, there's so many kids that fell behind because of the pandemic. And so many like students that I work with, like they don't even know how to read and they're like in second grade. And so like it's unfortunate. So of course, like you want people here that want to stay here. You don't want to lose people, but it really got people thinking like what like this is the profession I'm in. Like, is it the one I want to be in for the rest of my life?
Definitely. Would you say if we were never in a pandemic, would we lose the amount of workers we're losing now?
I don't think so. I definitely think the pandemic opened a lot of people's eyes. I think that people were like, they were sort of starstruck. They were just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm like at a standstill right now. Like, is what I'm doing making me happy? And then of course there's all these other factors that were going on, like, like maybe I want to try this and like, oh, maybe I want to try that, or then income and stuff like that. So definitely it helped a lot of people grow. It helped a lot of people change. A lot of people did career changes. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of people started doing new things. But I think it's definitely very beneficial to like have people who want to do what we are doing to be like around them, the kids, because like I think it's more beneficial for them. And then of course you want someone to be enjoying the profession that they're doing.
Ultimately, at the end of the day, what's the point of making at least six figures if you're waking up like a zombie, not even being alive,
Yeah.
metaphorically speaking?
Yeah, no, throughout the pandemic, I was just like, am I enjoying what I'm doing? Like, is what I'm going for making me happy anymore? Because I don't feel very happy right now, and like this makes me happy. And of course, like working with kids is not for everyone. It is definitely not for everyone. I have my days where I'm just like, I want to pull my hair out. But I think for me, it was definitely worthwhile. And I think that because I saw how it was so important that kids have an education and be surrounded by people that really cared about them and really wanted to teach them, especially with the pandemic going on, and like people that wanted to help them. I think it was definitely very important.
Most definitely. And you make a great point that when you're around people that want to help out, it encourages you to want to do more. What did you say?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
There's a quote but so many books you can read on it. It says that iron sharpens iron, and a friend can sharpen a friend as well. And it goes a long way when you have a great group of individuals that want to work together.
Yeah, no, I agree. If you're surrounded by people that love what they're doing, it's only going to get better, like you're only going to have more resources and people like invested in what you're doing. If you have people that it's like, I don't know, like it's like we're never going to progress.
That's true. You always the biggest thing is you want to progress. Granted, you could take a couple steps back and you feel like you're digressing, though as long as you're learning something new, that's a win. Even if, what did you say?
No, yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Would you say employees are demanding too much from their employers? Would you say that employers are having too much expectation for their employees? Would you say it's a little bit of both?
I think it depends on what area of work you're entering. I think for me, like there was definitely no expectations other than like, you had to know how to work with kids. And other companies, they're like, well, you need to know X, Y, and Z, but it's like, hold up, like I don't know X, Y, and Z. And then of course there's like, again, with the pandemic, there were so many people that didn't have money, that need money, that were looking for a job, that were desperate for a job. I was desperate for a job for a very long time. And it's like money, like you need money to survive and like function in the world, unfortunately. And of course, there's a lot of people who are like, I want this. And, if we didn't get that, then maybe like they would walk away, and it's unfortunate. But I think like I live by the quote now that's like, if you love what you do, you never work a day in your life. So like for me, once like I got my first paycheck and I was there for a full week, I'm like, you know what? I don't even care. Like I enjoy what I'm doing, and like I'm just gonna keep progressing with that. So I think it honestly depends on like where you're working, who you're working with, who your boss is, and then what situation you are in and what you're asking for, and if it's the job that's really for you.
That's a great quote. If you enjoy what you're doing, you don't have to you don't have to worry about working a day. Working.
You don't work a day in your life.
There it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward, but it's true that time flies when you're having fun, and when you're enjoying what you're doing, why not get that extra benefit of being paid for doing what you love?
Mm-hmm.
Switching over from payments, stimulus checks, inflation rate, unemployment benefits, how much has this affected people when it comes to work or not wanting to work?
I think when the stimulus checks were coming out and the unemployment was coming out, everyone was all happy and everything. I definitely was like set for a long time. And then you were at home buying stuff on Amazon and it just kind of went away. And like we were trying to save, but it just didn't happen. And then you wanted a job. Like you definitely wanted a job. Or you were comfortable. You became so comfortable in the fact that it's like, I'm here at home. Don't really need a job. You know, I can figure out other means to get money. So I think it was like, it came down to two different types of people who those are like, I'm going to work, and I'm desperate to go work and find something. And I either have all the qualifications or I don't, but I'm going to find something. And those who I'm like, you know what, this was nice. I think I'm going to chill, you know? So yeah.
That comfortability, it's a danger zone, people would say.
Yeah, it's a very dangerous comfort zone that I think developed during the pandemic. Yeah.
I know when the pandemic hit and we were in lockdown, I ended up being in Sacramento, it was a private school. So we weren't really locked down though. The point is when I never really experienced that quarantine, but when I got back from Jessup, it was very different. It was a little difficult to want to work because when you're at home is like a place you want to relax and be comfortable, not so much learning something new and getting uncomfortable.
Yeah. I remember a family friend, she told me, she was like, change is uncomfortable. Change is not comfortable at all. And she's like, if you want change to be comfortable, then it's not change. And so she's like, if you are in the most uncomfortable you have ever been right now, then that means you are growing so much as a person. And I like me being home, I was like, I need something to happen. I didn't know that something was already happening like internally, but like just like that want, that drive, like I need something to happen. Like it was like already like pushing me like, okay, let's try this, let's try that. Because I was like so tired of being home. Like I love my house, but it's just like I needed to get out there. I wanted to socialize, you know? But I think it pushed me to like look and do more things and take advantage of the opportunities that we had. And then like once the pandemic got a little bit better, you know, like right now it's like, but like then I was able to like go and like do things with the stuff that I had done.
Definitely sounds like that with this pandemic being locked up, you're able to find different opportunities. Then when the pandemic opened up, you're able to enhance those ideas.
You had to. I feel like you had to, because if like you didn't, like it affected you a lot, you know?
Most definitely. One thing that my siblings, for all things, I didn't think it was going to happen. My siblings fell in love with riding bikes. They are some of the most uncoordinated individuals, as in myself. But that's another thing to talk about.
Yeah.
They never knew how to ride a bike. With this pandemic, they've been home for so long. They got outside, started riding the tricycle, fell a couple of times. My sister may or may not hit a pole, but long story short,
happens. I mean, I hit a pole and I wasn't on a bike, so it happened.
Poles are dangerous.
Poles are dangerous.
If anyone gets anything from this podcast, poles are dangerous.
I almost hit a pole yesterday. I was just like walking, like, and looking at the kids, and I was just like, wait a sec. So yeah, but no, that's great. That's really great.
Definitely, it's really cool. Just, I want to say when boredom hits, that's when creativity starts to develop.
Yeah, like I started riding my bike more too. It had been like living in the garage, and I was like, no, gotta get it out there. And so like I was over here riding my bike. My mom and my sister got into riding their bikes and everything. And so when like they would be like, hey, come with us, I'd be like, but you guys ride faster than me, and it's no longer like a me time, but I like riding with you anyway. So it's like, so
That's funny. That's awesome though too.
yeah.
Switching over to our last question. 27% of graduates are working in the field. 27. Let me rephrase that. 27% of graduates are working in the field they majored in. That means about 73% of students that graduate are working in a field that they didn't major in. As educators, how can we better prepare students to enter life or even the workforce?
Well, I say that a lot of people that I know nowadays are not doing what they majored or went to school for. Like my boss doesn't even like he was doing like media or something, and he ended up working with kids. So like it depends. Like me, like I was not planning to work with kids at all, and then that's what happened. I've always loved kids, but like did I think I was gonna be a teacher? No. So like I think that we should just teach individuals like do what you're passionate about, and like you want to embody, like there was this question because like for one of my homework questions for my teacher credential, they're like, what is your purpose as a teacher for the students? And they were telling us you have to embody all these different characteristics or the best version of yourself to be able to teach them. And so like you have to show them you're not perfect, but how do you cope with certain things? How do you get through certain things? And it might not be how they end up or like the things that they do, but you need to show them that, they can learn and it's okay to make mistakes. So when it comes to career choices, they might major in something different that they're passionate about or whatever, but they need to know that it's going to be okay. And life changes happen like in random situations and random points in your life, in random pandemics that enter the world, and it's going to be okay. You have to be able to show them and give them the skills to be able to figure that out. And I think that's just with anybody. That's with like parents, guardians, teachers, like any type of mentor, like whoever you're around, like radiate that, show them that you are human and that you are a person that doesn't have everything figured out. And that is okay. I think for the longest time, I was like so prideful about the fact that I was like, I got everything figured out. I'm good to go. And then the pandemic hit and I was just like, man, but I think it's made me just more of a humble human being and allowed me to like be that with the kids and be that with individuals. And I think so in preparing anybody, high schoolers, college students, kids, I think it's just like really important that you show them that and like let them do what they want to do and be passionate about it. Show them that, how to be good people and they'll find their way.
That's awesome. And it's true. Sometimes as teachers, we wear so many caps.
Yeah.
We need to remember who we are as an individual, let alone have certain standards and foundations on, okay, this is who we are. This is what we can give. Mm. Because at the end of the day, if we have nothing in us, how are we supposed to give anything out?
Yeah.
You always got to make sure, kind of using tea because I don't drink coffee, you have to make sure your tea is full so you can spread your tea to everyone else.
Yeah. And I think if anything, what I learned about this pandemic is that mental health is so important. Like, let yourself figure yourself out before you start teaching people how to figure themselves out, I think is very important. I mean, always be there for people, always be the best version of you that you can be. But if you need time for yourself and you need to figure yourself out, like do it,
Definitely. A wise individual that we worked with at a different podcast, with another podcast episode, one of her sayings was, it's okay to not be okay.
Yeah. It's the Demi Lovato song, It's okay.
It's okay. Everything will be fine.
Yeah,
not
it's
right now.
It's gonna be okay. I don't know, but it will.
Look for the rainbow. It's okay. Right? Yeah. Overall.
Yeah. And I think it's better. It's easier said than done because it's like so many people were like always telling me, and I was telling so many people that I'm like, it's gonna be all right. And they're just like, how? Like how? I'm like, I don't know. I don't have like the power to tell you how it's gonna be okay. I just know that like I got you. I'm here, and I'm pretty sure there's other people that got you, and you're gonna figure it out. You know?
True. I'm not too sure if this is something that kind of came in my mind when I a few years ago when I was reading a book, or if it actually was from a book. Everything that we're going through right now, someone has gone through in the past. A good chunk of those individuals that have gone through what we're going through have survived. So if they can survive, what's to say that we are not to survive? Or maybe what's to say we are to survive? We're going to learn something new. And going back to like what your friend mentioned, uncomfortability. We got to get comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah, and it's frustrating. I think it's the most frustrating and aggravating thing in the whole entire world because it feels like everything is like turning upside down. You're just like, man, I just want to be in my comfort zone and what I know and work from there. But it's like, no, you know, you have to break some walls down and build some back up, you know?
True. A reference from Encanto. Have you seen Encanto? I don't want to spoil anything if you have.
Yes, I have. It's not that I don't like the movie. It's just that, okay, I'm surrounded by kids every single day.
Fair enough. But yeah, if y'all haven't seen Encanto, there's a reference. It's a good movie. You just got to get past the music. And yeah,
music I actually like. There's other things. I did a whole review on it on my YouTube. yeah. The music I like.
It was a really good movie. I know April and I, we went to go watch it, just like expecting it to be like a nice little Disney movie. We came out just like emotional. Like it was a therapy.
It is emotional. It is very emotional because I was like, man, I feel these people.
I relate to them on so many levels.
Oh, that's me. That's me right there.
I'm like, huh, those cracks. Yep. I think caring a little too much.
I think I resonated most, and I think a lot of people did with like the Louisa song where I'm like, that was me last year. Man, I'm just like going down. All the way.
Yeah, it's a great song. Have you listened to it in Spanish?
Yes, I've listened to things in every language, okay? Like, I am on TikTok. I am on YouTube. I am surrounded by kids. I have a sister that sends me TikToks every 5 seconds. Like, I am surrounded by it. So I've listened to everything. I've seen it in sign language. I've seen it in Korean. I've seen so many different, yeah.
And now you intrigue me. Now I want to see it in sign language.
Yeah, because you do ASL, yeah. So,
yeah. So moving back to our main topic, this pandemic, what we're going through, it's full of the unknown. And I want to say we've been through this for about 2 years now. How long have we?
I don't know. I lost count. There was a point where I didn't even know what day it is. Sometimes I don't. Still, like it is what it is. You take it day by day. You appreciate the little things every single day.
You just smile, keep going. There's not much you can really do.
Smile and wave.
Smile and wave. So this actually wraps up our episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't seen the movie, watch the movie. Be careful with polls because they are dangerous. Any other final words ever you'd like to give?
No, that's it. Thank you so much for having me. This is like my first podcast, so thank you.
Most definitely. Thank you guys for watching. Like the video, share it, comment. If you want to check out Amber's YouTube channel, link will be in the description or somewhere around here during edits. You'll find it. Pass a smile, stay safe. See you guys next time.